Hello everyone, welcome to GS Booster Shot, your daily dose with GS preparations. UPSC CSC happens to be the apex test of your knowledge and not your information. In order to ace the examination, one is required to enhance his sources of knowledge and curtail his sources of information. In today's lecture, we are going to talk about International Solar Alliance. The context has been provided to us by the 4th Assembly of International Solar Alliance, which has started on 18th of October of this very month. It is very important to talk about International Solar Alliance, especially with respect to the fact that by the end of this very month, COP26 is going to take place. So, what is the International Solar Alliance about? What are the main objectives of this 4th Assembly of International Solar Alliance? And what is its role in India's climate diplomacy and geopolitical diplomacy? So, let us have a look at all of this. But before that, let us understand what is the initiative, that is One Sun, One World, One Grid. What is this initiative about? So, it basically envisions a single global grid for solar power. So, this idea was first given by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji on the first assembly of International Solar Alliance in 2018. So, the vision is that all the countries which fall between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, which receives the maximum sunlight, so there is going to be infrastructure with respect to solar power will be created in these very countries, and the power production from these very projects will be connected via one single grid. In this very manner, it basically exemplifies the fact that sun never sets. The very thing that goes against solar power is that this power is not, you can say you cannot rely on this power, because at 100% of times this power cannot be generated. So, by connecting all these power stations across countries through a single grid, this very problem is actually sought to be covered up. So, over here, this very initiative seeks to exploit the differences of time zones, seasons, resources and prices between countries and regions in order to generate solar power. This very initiative would be a very important step towards decarbonizing our energy production. So, whatever one may say, today energy production is the main cause and the biggest contributing factor towards climate change. So, and also greenhouse gases naturally. Now, let us see what the 4th Assembly of International Solar Alliance has to do with this very initiative. So, as I have told you that this initiative was mooted in the first assembly of International Solar Alliance, and this very first assembly was in 2018. Although International Solar Alliance was created in 2015 in Paris by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and the then French President Francis Hollande. So, now, in order to make this very initiative successful, that is of One Sun, One World, One Grid, what are the key things which will be deliberated upon in this very assembly? Number one is $1 trillion investment roadmap. So, just look at this very figure. In order to make this project successful, it would be requiring about $1 trillion worth of investment. So, how is this investment going to be garnered up? There has to be creation of a roadmap for this. Now, remember, there are about 122 countries who fall between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Today, about 98 of these countries are members of International Solar Alliance. But one has to remember one thing, that is that maximum number of these countries are low development countries and which are actually struggling for their development. So, there are a number of African countries also in this very set of countries who are member. So, which is why they do not have that much of resources to invest in creation of solar infrastructure, and therefore a big development, I'd say investment is required in order to make this project a success. Then approval of blended financial risk mitigation facility. Blended financial risk mitigation facility ये होती क्या है? बेसिकली किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट को लगाने के लिए देयर आर सर्टेन रिस्क फैक्टर्स एंड उन रिस्क को उठाने के लिए देयर हैज टू बी कमेंसुरेट रिटर्न ऑल्सो. Only and only then a private investor will invest in that very project. Now, many of the countries who are actually part of International Solar Alliance, these countries are not that stable with respect to security aspect, and therefore the risks increases and the profit are not commensurate to those very risks. Taking this very thing into account, a facility, basically sort of a finance facility, has to be brought up which is actually going to cover up the financial aspect of this very risk, and this is important for in order to rope in private investments into projects of solar power generation, and this is known as blended financial risk. That is the risk that is associated with a project other than the normal factors such as the security aspect, which should not have been a concern. However, in many countries this is a concern. So blended financial risk का तो मतलब ये हो गया कि normal factors से हटके कौन से risks होते हैं एक project को, and naturally इन risk को mitigate करने के लिए एक facility बनाई जाएगी. So इस facility के लिए approval दिया जाना जरूरी है इस 4th assembly के अंदर. Then the strategic plan of the ISA for next 5 years. अब ISA अगले 5 साल के लिए क्या क्या चीजें करने वाली हैं. नाउ ऑल्सो रिमेंबर दैट दिस वन सन वन वर्ल्ड एंड वन ग्रिड जो प्रोजेक्ट है, इसे वर्ल्ड बैंक से भी सपोर्ट है. नाउ 5 साल के जो अगले कार्यकाल आने वाला है ISA का, उसके लिए 3 गोल्स इन्होंने देखे हैं. नंबर 1 इज कंट्री पार्टनरशिप फ्रेमवर्क. सो कंट्री पार्टनरशिप फ्रेमवर्क एक बेसिकली मैनेजमेंट टूल है जो कि वर्ल्ड बैंक का, जिसके अंदर वर्ल्ड बैंक ये देखता है कि जो उसने इन्वेस्टमेंट करी है किसी कंट्री के प्रोग्राम के अंदर उसकी इफेक्टिवनेस क्या आई है, एंड इन दिस वेरी मैनर it sees that CAPF identifies the key objectives and development results through which World Bank Group intends to support a member country in its effort and end extreme poverty and boost shared prosperity in a sustainable manner. So basically हर एक प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर जो पैसा इन्वेस्ट होएगा उससे क्या क्या बेनिफिट आने वाला है ये असेस करना पड़ेगा. नेचुरली जिन कंट्रीज के अंदर सोलार पावर की प्लांट्स लगेंगे उनमें हम ये देखेंगे कि वहाँ पे एक इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी जनरेट होएगी, उन कंट्रीज़ की इकोनॉमी बढ़ेगी, एंड इन दिस वेरी मैनर दे कुड रियली सपोर्ट देयर पॉपुलेशन. इन अफ्रीका ऑल्सो हैपन्स टू बी अ ह्यूज हब ऑफ पॉवर्टी, एंड देयरफॉर this could be an added incentive for them. It has to be worked out as to through this country partnership framework that World Bank has with every country while it is financing any of their projects. So जो सोलर पावर के प्रोजेक्ट्स आएंगे वर्ल्ड बैंक उसके रिस्पेक्ट के अंदर उस पर्टिकुलर कंट्री के लिए देखेगी कि वहाँ पे उसकी इन्वेस्टमेंट का कितना रिटर्न मिलता है, एंड उसी हिसाब से इन्वेस्टमेंट्स दी जाती है, लोन्स एक्सटेंड किए जाते हैं. देन स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर प्राइवेट सेक्टर एंगेजमेंट. प्राइवेट सेक्टर को बिना एंगेज करे इतना बड़ा टारगेट, इतनी बड़ी ग्रिड बनाना इम्पॉसिबल है. एंड देयरफॉर देयर हैज टू बी अ स्ट्रेटेजी टू engage private sector and to invest in these very projects, one of which would be approval of this blended financial risk facility. Then a scheme has to be chalked out with respect to viability gap financing scheme. Now although in India we can see that the rate of solar power has come down considerably than what it was about 5 years back, however now the rate of solar power generation, the cost of it is going to differ in various countries, in all of these countries, depending upon their socio-economic scenario, their political scenario, and the sort of infrastructure facilities available over there. There might be more logistic costs into carrying equipment in one country than there were with other country. This would enhance the cost of setting up a plant over there. In some countries, there might be certain labor problems. So with respect to this very thing, we have to see that in many countries there is a possibility that a project might not be financially viable, the returns would not be financially viable, and in this very case there has to be a mechanism for viability gap funding in order to fill up this very viability gap. Now, let us see how this policy of one international solar alliance has worked towards in India's favor, and it is actually a subset of climate diplomacy. So, International Solar Alliance बनी कब, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया that it was formed in 2015 in France, in Paris, by Prime Minister Modi and French President François Hollande. Also remember that 2015 के अंदर ही इंडिया ने पेरिस एग्रीमेंट को साइन किया था. उस टाइम पे there was a lot of pressure on India, and India was seen as part of a problem of climate change in the entire world because of its emissions. Now, by mooting this very idea of International Solar Alliance, India actually presented to the world that it is not a part of the problem, rather it's part of a solution. So, this has helped a lot into improving India's perspective in the world. In the West, there are now countries in which green parties are emerging. So, we can from this very thing see that now West and the people over there are extremely conscious about climate change, and there are now mutual funds operating, there are very wealth funds being operated which are only investing in companies who are actually taking into account climate change. In this very scenario, if we are to attract foreign investment into our country and the perception of us with respect to environment goes bad, this would be detrimental for us, and therefore this was a master stroke when it comes to climate diplomacy. That is, by launching International Solar Alliance, we showed ourselves as part of the solution and not part of the problem. Now, coming to the 4th Assembly. Now, just see at what time the 4th Assembly is taking place. It is taking place right before COP26. In COP26, the entire world leaders are going to be present. Stock will be taken of each country's activities and their contributions towards mitigating climate change. It has been expected that India and China will be under extreme pressure in these very meetings. Although India has performed very well when it comes to its nationally determined goals, which was set under the Paris Agreement that India gave in 2015. However, still there is tremendous pressure on India. Now, by launching and if by somehow in this very 4th Assembly, India is able to actually make up this some amount of this $1 trillion objective raising fund, this $1 trillion, then it can go to the negotiation table at COP26, where perhaps all the countries would be aiming their guns at India, and it can speak with confidence and it can say that, okay, you just see that we have been doing on this very thing, and we have been trying to bring such big a project which would actually help in changing the energy landscape of the world. A project of this very you can say width, height and breadth has not been launched till date. So, this is with respect to climate diplomacy. And then before that, we also let us see what is the aspect with respect to geopolitical. Now, International Solar Alliance को देखा जा रहा है as an endeavor of India to lead the world. Then, as I have already told you, that out of 122 countries which fall between tropics, 98 have actually today become members of International Solar Alliance. Second thing, third aspect is also that it is also a way to enhance interconnectivity, and by basically giving a greener substitute to China's Belt and Road Initiative that is coal intensive as of now. So, basically naturally जब एक power grid बनेगी between these very countries, so what will happen? China is not yet member of International Solar Alliance. I'd like to clear that first. So, जब एक energy grid बनेगी तो एक sort of interconnectivity in the power structure would be established of so many countries. So in this very manner, we will be building up bridges. However, चाइना का जो बेल्ट एंड रोड इनिशिएटिव है और उसके तहत जो प्रोजेक्ट्स चाइना लेके आता है, वह those projects are extremely coal intensive. Those are fossil fuel intensive. So in this very manner, India is in a manner presenting a greener alternative to Chinese coal intensive projects. Now, Paris Agreement के बारे में काफ़ी सारे articles आए हैं. However, one thing that we may not be remembering about it is ratcheting mechanism of Paris Agreement. So basically ratcheting mechanism होता क्या है? Although ratcheting word is agreement के अंदर कहीं लिखा नहीं गया है, but ratcheting का ये मतलब है कि continuously आपको अपने जो आपने टारगेट सेट करें उसको बढ़ाना है. So let us see how this ratcheting mechanism work. So हुआ क्या? In 2015 you will be asked, now this ratcheting mechanism has to happen every 5 years. अब ये साइकिल कैसे चलेगा? 2015 में पेरिस एग्रीमेंट हुआ. इस एग्रीमेंट के तहत हर एक कंट्री को अपने इंडिपेंडेंटली डिटरमाइंड कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस बताने होंगे जो कि वह करेगी विद रिस्पेक्ट टू अचीविंग द लॉन्ग टर्म गोल ऑफ पेरिस एग्रीमेंट, दैट इज टू प्रिवेंट द टेम्परेचर ऑफ अर्थ फ्रॉम राइजिंग अप टू अ सर्टेन डिग्री फ्रॉम प्री इंडस्ट्रियल लेवल. सो 2015 में यह कहा जाता है कि सबसे पहले आप अपनी तरफ से आप सोच लीजिए कि इंडिपेंडेंटली डिसाइडेड कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस आपके क्या होंगे. उसके बाद कमेटी बैठेगी एंड कमेटी इन सारे कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन को जो आपने दिया है उसको इवैल्यूएट करेगी एंड कमेटी आपको बताएगी कि आपके सॉल्यूशंस जो आपने कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है क्या वो कम है, क्या वो सफिशिएंट है या वह सफिशिएंट नहीं है. इन द एंड ये कोशिश करी जाएगी कि आप ज़्यादा कंट्रीब्यूट करें. उसके बाद आपने जो प्रपोजल दिया कमेटी की सिफारिशों के साथ आप देंगे एक नेशनली डिटरमाइंड कंट्रीब्यूशन. नाउ नेशनली डिटरमाइंड कंट्रीब्यूशंस ये आपके ऊपर बाइंडिंग है क्योंकि ये आपने खुद दिए हैं, ठीक है. नाउ इन कंट्रीब्यूशंस को आपको अचीव करना है. ये अब आप अचीव करना शुरू करेंगे फ्रॉम 2021 टू 2025. आपने जो फर्स्ट इंडिपेंडेंटली डिटरमाइंड कंट्रीब्यूशन दिए जो कि रिव्यू के बाद बन गए नेशनली डिटरमाइंड कंट्रीब्यूशन, नाउ यू हैव टू अचीव दिस फ्रॉम 2021 to 2025. Now what will happen before this 2025 ends? New process will start of declaring new independently declared contributions. Now this very contribution will again be reviewed, the countries, and it will be reviewed by these committees, and this committee will see that first of all, are you falling short on your early determined nationally determined goals only or not? If you are falling short, then again you will be asked to pump up this very independently determined contribution on the very first hand, and then also it will analyze that whether or not these independently determined contributions are still low or not. In a manner, this mechanism is set in a manner that countries will be forced and promoted, rather promoted is the right word to use, a diplomatic word rather. So promoted to enhance their nationally determined goals, and in this very manner nationally determined goals contributions would be again second stage of nationally determined contributions would be set. This will start rolling in 2026 onwards. Then you will prepare for third independently declared contributions. So this is how ratcheting mechanism under Paris Agreement works. Now let us see the concerns with respect to achieving this very objective of one sun, one world, one grid. So first of all, COVID-19 has imposed a lot of uncertainties, and there are going to be geopolitical implications of COVID-19 on this very objective. Then the mechanism of cost sharing will be challenging. How? Because there are a number of countries who are not so socio-economically powerful or having so much socio-economic resources as other members have in this very alliance. Then with respect to the strategic benefits, so जो सारे strategic benefits हम सोच रहे हैं इस प्रोजेक्ट के थ्रू, सच एज इंटरकनेक्टिविटी, वह सारे strategic benefits along with basically creating a large solar grid, ये सभी खत्म हो सकते हैं अगर एक कंट्री के अंदर ये कोई भी जियोपॉलिटिकल प्रॉब्लम आ गई किसी भी कंट्री के अंदर. देन इंडिया में मेजर इशू रहेगा कि रीयूनेबल एनर्जी जो डेवलपर्स हैं, जो डिफरेंट स्टेट्स के अलग अलग रूल्स हैं, एंड हेंस सभी स्टेट्स को एक बोर्ड पे लाना होगा, बिकॉज पावर क्रिएशन स्टेट्स भी करती हैं. देन further, the project extends the reliance for a major strategic entity energy supply to other countries through this grid. Basically हम आत्मनिर्भर भारत में ये कहना चाहते थे कि हम आत्मनिर्भर बनेंगे अपने कोर कैपेसिटीज़ की तरफ, लेकिन एनर्जी जो सिक्योरिटी है इंडिया के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड यदि हम ये सोच रहे हैं कि हम इन्वेस्ट करेंगे एंड हेल्प करेंगे, फैसिलिटेट करेंगे दूसरी कंट्रीज़ को एक सोलार इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर खड़ा करने के लिए, एंड उस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के थ्रू हम अपनी बेसिकली ज़रूरतें पूरी करेंगे ऑफ एनर्जी की. सो इन दिस वेरी मैनर वी वुड बी अगेन, एक जो मेजर स्ट्रेटेजिक एंटिटी होती है कंट्री की एनर्जी सिक्योरिटी, वो हम देंगे दूसरी कंट्रीज़ के हाथों में. हाउएवर, इफ वन हैज़ टू व्यू दिस थिंग ग्लोबली, द करेक्ट वे, नाउ देयर वुड बी काउंटर व्यूज टू दिस वेरी थिंग, दैट इज दैट by creating such very grid only and only then can the entire potential of solar power can be realized. Otherwise it would not be realized. And the ultimate aim of having solar power is basically not to actually do energy security, but in order to prevent climate change. And climate change isn't, solar power happens to be a solution to climate change. And क्लाइमेट चेंज का जो सोल्यूशन है वह सिंगल कंट्रीज नहीं एक तरफ अपनी तरफ से कर सकती. कंट्रीज हैव टू टेक कलेक्टिव एक्शन, एंड देयरफॉर इन ऑर्डर टू आंसर दिस वेरी एनी क्वेश्चन दैट कम्स ओवर दिस थिंग, और इफ दिस पॉइंट इज रेड, वी हैव टू गिव द लार्जर पिक्चर एंड नॉट द myopic picture. So this would be all from my side for today's lecture. Should you have any problem, feel free to put your problems in the comment box. I'd be more than happy to reply to those. I would be also attaching the PDF of this very slideshow and for your very convenience. Thank you and have a nice day.